This is Character Asked It. You already know Character did it. And I am here with a legitimate artist, someone who's making music to do a little bit of good and represent his true self. Melo Mclain. Bro, tell us about yourself.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Melo Mclain. I'm from a small town you might have heard of called Detroit, Michigan, and I'm a Motor City, and I'm a rap artist, writer, producer, and so much more.
Hell yeah, bro. How long you been doing it?
Sorry about that. I've been doing music. I've it's such a weird way of going about it. I actually have been writing rap since I was like 6 years old, 5, 6 years old. But I've been recording and doing music professionally since I was like 12. So, in
How
in
old are you now?
retrospect, I would say I'm 27 now. So I would say about thir about 15 years now. I guess technically speaking, about 15 years
All right,
since
so
being in the studio.
explain the 13-year-old professional recording.
Yeah, absolutely. So my brother-in-law, he is married to my sister. My brother-in-law, he was a rapper. His name is Motown, or his real name is Will Smith. Some people will laugh when I say that Will Smith is my manager, but his real name is Will Smith. So it's always a thing. They like the Fresh Prince. I'm like, I'm like, no, my brother.
That's
So
hilarious, bro.
you feel me? It's a thing. So he he had being in the studio with his group, his solo album, and I've been working on. I watched him working on that, and I seen him doing those things, and I just kind of grasped to that. And I always loved music, so he had a studio, and they moved to Georgia. So I used to travel to Georgia, and he had a studio, and I was like, "Oh man, put me in the studio." My sister and my mom like, "Yeah, let Mal." They call me Mally in the family. Like, let him get in the studio. Let him get in the studio. And I'm like, he like, I don't know, man. I can't get. I was like, I don't know. I don't know if he gonna be serious. And I remember I wrote my first song, and I memorized. He made me memorize. I couldn't record until I memorized it. He made me memorize it, and I had to record in the dark with my eyes closed. Like,
Oh shit!
yeah, yeah. So it was like he
What?
really put me through the test, and that's when I recorded my first song. He made the beat for my first song too. He produced, he did everything for my first album. It was called "Who I've Become," and my song was called "Who Am I." And that song actually still is out. It's on YouTube and
How old
everything.
were you when this album came out?
When the album came out, I had to be closer because I recorded at 12. So I had to be closer to like 13, between 13 and 14 when we actually put it out. When we actually put
What?
it out. And
So all right. So
yeah,
what were the results of that?
the results were okay. Like for my, because I wasn't familiar. Well, sorry about that. Somebody
Hey,
was
you might want to
calling
throw
me.
your phone on Do Not Disturb. That
Yeah,
helps, bro.
yeah, that's what I'm about to
I'm,
do
I
right
mean to
now.
put that. I keep meaning to put that in the email I send
And
out.
you know what? You know what's crazy? I thought it was already T&D. That's why,
Yeah.
because it automatically. But it's cool. I got you. But yeah, the results of the album, "Who I've Become," my 13-year-old album. Well, excuse me, album I made at 13 years
Right.
old.
Right. It's more than 13 now.
That right, it's man crazy. So I actually I wasn't familiar with like TuneCore at the time or anything like that, any type of major distribution site of sort. So I just did the hardcover CD. This back when
But did,
CDs was
did,
still
did that
doing.
exist back then? I don't think it did.
I think TuneCore, yeah, TuneCore
TuneCore
actually
did.
surprised. It's been around since 2005. Surprisingly,
I didn't
surprisingly,
know
yes.
that. Okay.
Me either. One day I googled them, and it was like 2005, and I was like, "You shitting
I
me?"
wonder what
I'm
about
like,
DistroKid. Now I want to
I
Google
don't think
that.
I don't think distro's around.
I'll
Yeah, I
put
don't
I'll put
think.
the results in this final interview right here. Right here.
Right,
This is when DistroKid was started.
right. And so we did hard CDs. So I put I burned CDs. I just sold it like a mixtape. Probably sold maybe 100 copies. To be completely honest, 100 copies, like maybe
You
three
sold
or
a
five
hundred
dollars.
copies though,
Yeah. At
and
13,
nobody's
we used
selling
to sit
albums
out.
right now. You're 13 years old. You sold 100 copies, bro. That's an accomplishment right there.
Thank you. Yeah, it was big. It was. I used to hang out. It was this gas station in Stone Mountain, Georgia, because I spent my summers in Georgia with him, and we used to hang out at this gas station across the street from the strip club. And the strippers would come after their shift. Everybody come over, and it was this guy. He was barbecuing. He used to sell barbecue plates, right? Right. I'm 13. It's like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm just kicking in the summer, and he used to be like, "All right, man, you gotta talk to the people." And I used to just walk up to their car. It's like, "Hey, what's up, ladies? How y'all doing?" Like, I got this little mixtape. You know what I'm saying? I might not be talking about shit that they wanted to listen to for real, but they bought into it. They support it. And man, between that and then also middle school back in Detroit, when I come back to Detroit, of course I burn more CDs and sell them. So in totality, like I said, between that and Detroit, I end up selling like 100 copies, $3 or $5 a pop. So we're looking at what 300, $300 or $400 made off of that, and that was just some cool little money. I'll just go fuck off at the
That's
time.
huge. Now, of course, he blew that money, but I mean, of course, bro, like, who else could say they made $400 off of their music when they were 13 years old, man? That's a flex. That's a flex for real.
Thank you.
So tell me about the name, man. Where's the name come from?
Yeah, so the name Melo Mclain, very, very interesting story. So first and foremost, for a long time, until about the age of 19, I went by Melo. I just was Melo. And
To the age of what? I'm sorry.
Melo, 19,
19.
about
Okay.
18,
Okay.
18, 19. And I went by Melo. I played basketball. I was a huge basketball fan, my favorite sport. And Carmelo Anthony is my favorite player of all time. He's my favorite player. I've modeled my game basically after him, Kobe, and Ray Allen. They were my
Okay.
favorite players. And I remember like I used to just be on the basketball court with my friends outside shooting the ball. And I guess my shot resembled the way Melo shoots his shot. Carmelo shoots his shot. Everybody started calling me Melo. And I was real like calm. Like I have a temper, obviously, like most people. But I was really on generally I was really calm. Like I didn't say much, I didn't talk shit on the court. I didn't trash talk a lot. I just came to play, put up my shots, get going by my business, right?
Okay.
So that's where Melo came from. Melo just came from basketball, neighborhood. Guys coined it. They just like, yeah, we gotta call you Melo. I'm like, all right, cool. So that actually started around 11, 12. So same time I started recording, that's when I got my name. So McLean later came when I graduated high school. I graduated high school. I ended up going to Alabama A&M University for college, studying music business for like a year and a half. Then I dropped out. College was a scam to me. So that's just me
So
personally.
does every billionaire. So you're on a good track.
Right. So, man, I was sitting there. I'm working on my first mixtape out of high school called Off Season, and I'm working on it. And I'm like, man, I need a name. I need a different name. Like this is an evolution of me as a person. I'm becoming a young man now, right? I'm not gonna be. I'm going into my adulthood. So I'm like, what would I used to always picture like what would I want to see on the bright lights of Madison Square Garden, right? If I was when I sell out the garden one day, what do I want to
When you
see
do,
up there?
when you do.
You feel me? It's the words. It's the words,
It's the
character. It's the
words
words.
have power, homie. Keep going.
I'm telling you. So I'm like, I literally stayed up for maybe like 3 hours, just going through the names on my phone, dictionary, Webster. I'm just going through names. I'm trying different combinations with Mello, like McCullen, or like, I don't know. I just went alphabetically. And for whatever reason, I came across the Urban Dictionary.
Okay.
Now everybody knows the Urban Dictionary has like very funny definitions for different names and things. It's really hilarious. And I was thinking about Die Hard. I
I
was thinking
thought it
of
had something to do with Die Hard, bro. All right,
right.
go.
I'm thinking about Die Hard. I'm thinking about Bruce Willis and his character, McClane character there, John McClane. And I was like, Melo McClane. I'm like, I don't sound too bad. I'm like, but me, I'm always about meaning. So I'm like, let me research what this name means. So I looked up McClain, Urban Dictionary, top of the list. I
Okay.
click on Urban Dictionary. McLean, shit you not. McLean goes, it goes, McLean, definition. It's a guy who's good looking, popular. All the girls love him. He's athletic. And then they used it in a sentence. It was like, oh my God, I just want to be just like McLean. He gets all the ladies. And I was like, yeah, that's me, bro. I'm like,
Decision
I'm
made, bruh.
I'm like, this is it. This is my name. And it just looked good too when you put it like when I wrote it out and I looked at it on like excuse me in a font on my phone and I wrote it out. I was like, man, yeah, that looked good. That would look great in bright lights and it rolls off the tongue. Also, if you Google my name, nobody else pops up. It's an individual, so I'm literally the only one with this name, which
Damn,
is
that's a
really hard to
flex.
do as rap.
Facts, that's a flex, bro. Like, I mean, Pitbull got that thing where he's like, "Yo, if you look up Pitbull, I come before the dog."
That's a huge flex. That's a
Hey, yo,
huge.
I'll hook you up, with my boy Vianney, bro. My boy Vianney Luca. You Google him, Vianney Luca. He comes up before the city in Italy, Luca, Italy, bro. Like, he got that
What?
SEO down, bro. No lie.
That's lit,
I'll hook
man.
you up
That's
with them,
lit.
but for real, hey yo, so tell
Nah.
me, tell me
Thanks.
about some, you have your $400 you made at 13 years old, but what are some of the other accomplishments that you've achieved in your music journey?
Oh, yes, yes. Thank you. Oh man, beautiful things. I'll go from like a little bit of high school and then jump to the adulthood
Please do.
because high school I dropped one, two, three. I dropped three mixtapes in high school. SoundCloud days. I don't know if you remember Bandcamp. You feel me? Bandcamp days. You feel me?
SoundCloud days were a different thing, bro.
They don't. People don't understand
No,
what that wave did for
no.
us as artists. Like it gave us just such a sense of independence that was so good. But yeah, I released that. My biggest accomplishment. I remember I dropped my first mixtape in high school called The People's Choice. And it was like one of those like back in the mixtape era when you rap on industry beats. You feel me? I did a lot of those stuff, a lot of Drake beats, a lot of Big Sean beats back then. And I needed winter clothes. I went to the number one school in Detroit, number one high school in Detroit, Cass Tech, biggest high school in Detroit. A lot of more so on the higher end of financially well off families go there. I was on the lower end where I was poor, so I couldn't really get the Timberlands and polo boots and stuff I wanted. So I was like, man, I need to make some money. So I dropped my mixtape. I did the same thing, same formula. I burned them on CDs. CDs were still a thing at this time. This is maybe 2010, 2011, right? CDs are still a thing. I drop it. I'm skipping class, slanging these things. Like I'm like, fuck class all day. I'm in the lunchroom. I'm in the gym. I'm in girls' faces, slanging my CD. I sold maybe 300 copies this time. Sometimes I'll do like two. I'll do like one for five. No, no, no. I was doing one for seven, two for 10. That's what I was doing.
Okay.
And so I'm guessing if I did the math, I don't even know. That's somewhere around probably like $2,500, somewhere around there, right? So I just know I had enough to get my winter clothes. I had enough to get my boots, my car. I came home. I told
Damn,
my
bro.
mom,
Respect.
thank you. And I told my mom, she worked hard. I raised by a single mother. She worked hard. And she just did what she could to provide for me and my siblings. And I just came home and I was like, yo, mom, let's go to the mall. I'm like, I got the bread for my shoes, my coat. She like, where you get this money from? I'm like, I had the fat back HP computer, the fat joint. I'm like, ma, I stayed up all night burning CDs.
Well, did you
I
have that laser burn on the out? Oh, bro,
the,
yeah, man. Like that was the shit back then, bro. If
the
you pull that off, oh, what? Yeah, you was a baller
what?
back then.
And then I stole like the CD cases that my mom had for like her famous CDs, like Tony Braxton and whatever, right? Like Whitney Houston. Those CD cases, I'll take the papers out,
Sleeves out, you get the
the
tweezers, you get that
sleeves
back
out.
one out, bro.
You
Like
feel me? Get the sleeves out, and I'll steal the CD cases. She like, "Where's all my CD cases?" I'm like, "I had to steal them to
you got
sell
a
the next
spool over
tape."
there, it's all good. Like
You feel me? So that was a big accomplishment. Being able to make enough money to buy my winter clothes on my first mixtape in high school. Following that, I went to college and Alabama A&M University. They had a competition called Got Bars. Just to sum that up, real short story. My freshman year in college, I came through and made it to the semifinals of that competition. I mean, I outlasted some past champions. It was like first season where they had like three different champions in one season, and I came through and I knocked two of the champions off. So that was a huge accomplishment.
Damn.
Yeah, thank you. And I came through. I had my first single, "Crazy Stupid Dope," that went viral around the school, around the campus. Like people was talking about my song standing right next to me at the bus stop, not knowing who I was. And I was like, "Man, that's a dope song." They're like, "Yeah, that's a fire song." And I'm like,
Bro, what
"Yeah,
did
that
that
guy."
feel like?
It was mind blowing because
Oh,
I'm like no way my song is doing this type of like friction right now, this type of action. And I'm like, I'm looking at the girls and I'm like, oh yeah, that Melo guy, yeah, kind of like light skin, yay high. I'm like, yeah, that's me. And they're like, what? They see me on stage, but the
flex.
stage, you feel me? But the stage so far away from the crowd, college,
No,
big ass
yeah,
stadium,
bro. And I mean, yo,
people,
like it's hard to distinguish
yeah,
people on stage for real.
for real, you're not famous, right? So that was a huge accomplishment.
Yeah.
Following that, I ended up when I dropped out of high school. I mean, excuse me, dropped out of college. Dropped out of college. I ended up going back to Detroit for a minute. Then I moved to Atlanta with my manager, Will, and my sister. I moved with them. And I remember the Adidas open mic. They came to Atlanta. They did like, it was like the Pusha T competition. I don't know if you remember it, about 2018. It was the competition where they had the open mic in New York, Atlanta,
Yep.
Baltimore.
Yep.
Yeah. So I ended up applying for that. I went to DTLR store, showed them my music video. You feel me? Playing my music. They was like, "Oh, that's you?" And I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Oh, okay." So I get the notice. Next thing I know, I only chose 10. I made it to the top 10 and Adidas open mic to compete to do a song with Pusha T and get flown out to, I believe, a festival in New York. I didn't win. I came up short, but I did place like top three. And like I said, I got chosen to be in the top 10. Literally, I'm less than 3 months in Atlanta at this time, and I'm already doing that. So that was a huge thing for me. You feel me? I got like a signed autograph picture from Pusha T and shit like that. I got some limited edition Adidas Monster headphones. They are at the studio in Atlanta, actually. I got those, and then they hooked us up with like a bunch of Adidas gear for free. They
Nice.
had we was yeah, it was fly. I still got the shoes. They upstairs. These gold. I had these gold kind of yellowish Adidas shoes, high tops. So that was dope. That was the Atlanta 2018 experience with Adidas. Following that, my biggest, I would say my biggest two following that went to LA. So I moved around a lot. So right now, look, remember we were from Alabama back to Detroit to Atlanta, and now I'm in LA. This is 2019, following year. Ended up in LA. Somebody wanted to manage me. Shout out to Keisha. Keisha, she wanted to manage me. Friend of a family, friend of a neighbor, a family. And she's like, "Yo, we'll fly you out here. We'll get you a place, and we'll get you a job." And literally, that's exactly what they did, man. Her cousin, our next door neighbor, Kevin, he paid for my flight. They paid my first month's rent. She got me into a job where she was working at, literally all within a matter of like 2 weeks. Like,
Damn.
so yeah, it was some like movie shit, bro.
That's
Like
where you're
shit
at
people
now?
don't. No, right now I'm back in the D.
Okay.
I'm in my studio in the D
Okay.
right now. I left LA in 2020 during the pandemic. I left during the pandemic because I went remote with my job, so I was able to travel a lot. But so I was in LA, got there literally. I'm talking about maybe yeah, it was the first week. Shit, crazy. I had a show lined up with a promoter, Scott Morris. Oh, you probably seen Scott Morris.
Uh,
Had a show lined up with Scott Morris and a more booking company. Did that show. Then they took me to the BT Experience weekend. I had a Keisha and I had a stylist at the time. I'm at the Experience weekend. I'm talking about right after the show. My voice is gone a little bit. The following next morning, 7 a.m., they're like, "Hey, you gotta go do this competition." I'm like, "What competition?" It's called BT Next Rap Star. It's actually on YouTube. You can look it up. It was like some American Idol shit for rappers, though. Character. I'm talking about, and that bitch from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Oh,
all day.
oh,
And you spitting, I'm talking about you had to have clips because I think I spit like maybe 5 verses that day. And you had to, like, you just had,
just
when you
keep
made it to
on
the next
rolling,
round,
bro.
you had another, you know what I'm saying? I made it to the top. It was supposed to be a top 10. Somebody backed out, so it ended up being a top 9. I made it to the top 9. I didn't win. It was supposed to
Oh,
be a 1 year 360 deal with Island Records in UK. It's fine.
nah, bro, but you
Whatever.
made it to the top nine. You made it to the
You
top
feel me?
nine. Like that's the accomplishment.
You feel I got to kick it with Big Tigger. You feel me?
Wow,
You
bro.
feel me? Some other big names, and the crowd was going crazy. I gained so many fans off that experience. I gained so much love and so much just it's part of the journey, building my career. But yeah, that was in LA, literally my first week. Top 9, the BET experience. Set the crowd off. When you watch, I'm gonna send you the link. When you watch it on YouTube, you be like, damn, you were surprised. You'll be surprised. My performance, like a lot of people, I ain't say it. Other people said it. A lot of people said I should have won. But that's what everybody else. That's what everybody else said. I didn't say it. You know what I'm saying? So we go from there, and now it's 2020. We go from there. It's 2020. My biggest accomplishment, I believe, to date. Um, it's the pandemic, so we're all inside now. We can't perform no more. We all inside. Rolling Loud decides to have a online virtual competition called Got Bars. So my manager Will is the one who put me on this. Will goes and he just sends me the Instagram page. It was low key as fuck too. Like nobody really knew. It was super low key. Nobody really knew it was starting up because they just kind of it was like one of those subdivision parts of Rolling Loud, right? And man, I signed up for it. They hit me up. They was like, hey, be on Zoom at this day, this time. And just another one of those competitions where I had to I'm talking about I was writing a verse every week, I was writing like maybe 2 to 3 verses brand new every week. And I had to get to the finals, I had to go through 4 weeks of competitors consistently
Damn.
and win and my fans had to vote for me to win. So not only did I have to be better than them, but I had to get my fans to show up and maybe turn some supporters to show up and vote for me in the polls. And man, it was like 2 rounds, I think, each competition, each week. And I made it through all 4 weeks. You know what I'm saying? I did my thing. I was judged by Rolling Loud's own founder, Turk. I got to meet him in person actually.
Damn.
Right, right. So I made it there. The competition, the finals was we got flown out to Miami. So we got flown out to Miami. They put us in an Airbnb, nice little mini mansion. We had like a reality show. It's on Twitch, it's on YouTube too. I'll send you those links too. And we had a competition. I mean, excuse me. We had the finals competition. It was a final five. It was 5 of us. Me, myself, Melo Mclain, Boss Wood, if you ever heard of him, the pre God, La Hatchet, and Ambish. Excuse me, my boy Ambish. Shout out to Ambish. And man, I made it to the final round of the finals. It was like, what was it? 3 different rounds in the finals. Yeah, it was 3 different rounds in the finals. The first one was the acapella verse. Second one was we had to actually pair up with somebody in the competition and do songs. And we had to create songs like in the studio in less than like pick a beat, write the song, record it, memorize and perform it like within 2 days. We had to do that. Like it was crazy. And then I made it to the final round where you do your own thing. And I didn't win, but I definitely was in. I played, like I said, I placed top 3 in the final round. My boy Dupree God won. Shout out to Dupree. But yeah, man, that was a huge accomplishment. I got to perform against. I mean, excuse me, I got to perform in front of label execs from Empire, Tariq, the owner, Rollout. I got to perform against 99 Jams was there. They seen me perform. I got the link with a lot of people, a lot of A&Rs at Rolling Loud. I got the recording in Rolling Loud Studio, which is not a public studio. You know what I'm saying? That's like top shit. Like only the stars can get in those studio type shit. And man, it was just such a beautiful experience. And that was like that was the peak so far of my career as far as being that close to that moment where we all want to make it right. And it was like I tasted it, and man, it's sweet, but damn, is it hard? Is it a smack in the because it wakes you up. Like after that, I learned so much about the industry after having that accomplishment in my career.
So, what were the things you learned?
So first thing I learned is your story and your image is a huge part of your career, your business, your
Preach.
artistry. It's such a huge part. And at that time, I was still in the phase of, oh, I'm good at music. That's enough. Instead of in the phase that I'm now of, I need to sell my story and my image to these executives. These people have to buy what they see on this stage, right? And that's what I learned. And shortly after that, I had released an album. Shortly after that, would have changed my. I I adjusted our image is what I'll say. I'm not gonna say change because I'm still like in the same sense who I am, but the way I dress, my hair, everything changed. You know what I'm saying? As far as that goes, and I liked it. It ain't like I hated it. Like it ain't like it was like, you know what? I probably should have been doing this because this is who I am as a person for real. I was just trying to do something different that didn't work out. Because I used to wear like suspenders and loafers and like button down shirts. And
Ah, I can't even
you
picture
feel
you
me?
like that, bro. What?
You feel me? And it was fly, but
For
it
sure.
didn't
It
it
wasn't
didn't
you.
match. It wasn't my music. When you hear my music, you like, eh, I don't really match same energy. You feel me?
I feel you.
And
And yeah, you're right about that. For real. And actually that's one thing I did want to ask you about and it's relevant to everything you're talking about. Your music stands alone. I haven't heard as much as I would like to hear from you because I've been really busy. But what I have heard is real.
thank you.
There are bars that are about you and your life and your experiences, which is not typical, which is not what typically, competitions like the competitions you're talking about are looking for. So, is that what made you stand out? Do you think in those competitions?
Absolutely, because the thing is, people still remember me. One, because of how I dressed. I mean, nobody else dressed like me. Two, because I did have the songs where I wasn't the only time I made a song on there that was like catchy and like club shit, like it was an ass shaking song, was when we did the group round. And we only did it because it was really good. It was a great song. I would even put it out today
Hey,
if we
you got to
could, you know.
have one of those, two of those on your albums so that make the album pop, and then you can do everything else on the album that you wanted to. That's the fun of it.
Exactly. Exactly. But yes, other than that, my songs I made by myself were definitely from the heart, definitely telling my story and where I come from because I'm from the slums, I'm from the bottom. I've seen the darkest of days and the brightest of days. So it's like that definitely I think brings the relatability to myself and to my audience to say, hey, I understand what it's like to be in this position and that position as well, to be up and to be down because I've been there, man, and I still don't think I translated my story, my life story, as personable as I can. But with my new album on the way, I think this time I am going to be able to let people in a little more because I think I used to be afraid to let people in and a bit insecure about telling people my real struggles. And now that I'm older and I'm an older man and I'm more mature, I understand that that's just part of life. And also, that's what people want to know. That's what people, the audience, want to hear. They
That's
want to
what they
be able to
need to
say,
hear.
"Do you feel me?" Exactly. Exactly.
So tell me about some of the obstacles you faced.
Yeah, man. Number one thing I think a lot of people relate to. I grew up without a father. My father is alive. I do know his name. I do know what he looks like. Everything. I just don't know him. You feel me? Like I don't know him because he wasn't there. He was in and out of my life. I think a lot until I was about 9 years, 11 years old is when he stopped like really coming around. Like he would come back and forth from Florida to Detroit. My dad's Jamaican, so he lives in Jamaica now. Um, but he just wasn't there. So it was a struggle to find my identity as a young boy. You feel me? And as a young man, because I didn't. A woman can do many things, but a woman can't teach a boy how to be a man. You feel me? It's the difference in that, knowing that. You feel me? Because it's just the word is just different for us men. You know what I mean? It's just different. So um, that was a big struggle. Just being with a single mother in Detroit and on the west side in the hood where it's like any day I could die, any day I could be shot, any day I could be robbed, you feel me? Like I walked to school by myself at the age of like 6, you feel me? Like 7 years old. I'm walking to school in the snow. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like 2 inches of snow. You know what I'm saying? Up to
You
my
got that
ankles.
grandpa story, like
You feel me? Like I'm really going. Like I got that, and then because of that, because of not having my father in my life, I struggle with confidence as well. Cause my mom, she was so busy, she did her best, but she wasn't able to give me the attention as a child that she gave me later on. When I became a teenager, we finally figured it out when I got like 15, 16. But before then, it was a struggle. I didn't have confidence like I do now. I didn't have security like I do now. So I got bullied a lot. I was a short, fat, musty kid. You know what I'm saying? Wearing the same shirt 2 or 3 days in a row, having to wash the collar in the sink. You feel me? Having to scrub the soap on the collar. You know what I'm saying? Your school shirt.
got that
And
blow dryer trying to get it dry. And
you feel me? So I'm doing that, and man, I got bullied because of all of these
yeah,
things,
bro.
because of the lack of the confidence and lack of current money and the lack of these things. I got bullied, man, as a kid. Like people, I remember, man, I probably been jumped like maybe two hands worth. I've been jumped most of them. I've been jumped that much in my life. Like I got jumped by kids like a lot in elementary. I mean, I remember one day, one of the most vivid ones. I'm walking home from school, and I'm just minding my business, and they just started bothering me, picking at me, pouring ketchup on my head, hot sauce packets all down my shirt, punching me in the face. I tried to fight back. They beating my ass, and like I'm walking the latchkey to go to daycare until my mom gets off. I get the latchkey. They can't tell me nothing at the church. They like, oh well. They like what like the
You're
fuck you mean?
actually a
Well, like,
latchkey kid.
you feel me? I'm a latchkey kid. Like you feel me?
That's crazy.
Like crazy, right? So that happened. I got jumped, man, and because of those things that happened to me as a child between the ages of like 6 and like 10, I'll say 11, because I hit puberty early. I hit puberty at like 11. I shot up to like 5'5" and I turned 11. I was 5'5". I started filling myself out. I'm like, I'm playing basketball. I'm like, yeah, I'm a man. Nah, fuck y'all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so between that happened, and later on when I became like 14, 15, I went through a suicidal depression episode where I spent a week in Havenwick Hospital at psychiatric for children, teenagers, and I had to go to therapy for like 2 years. I had a hard time sleeping. I took sleeping pills for about 6 months, and I almost tried to kill myself, man. I tried to take myself out the game because of that stuff that happened. When I went to therapy, I found out how deeply rooted it was. It was because it all stems back to not having my father there to prevent these things from happening. Because had I had my father, he could have taught me different things that my mother could, or they could have co-parented, teach me these different things because there would have been more time available to focus on your child, right? And because of that, plus being poor, because oh man, I hated being poor. I fucking despise, like, I was just like, it bothered me as a teenager so much. And everybody, like, you just need to focus on school and just not worry about that. And it's like, man, how the fuck can I focus on school if my mom can't even afford me a pair of boots for the wintertime? You feel me? Or if she worried about the lights about to get cut off, or like,
Or we
you feel
eating
me?
ramen
Like,
noodles every fucking day this week.
you feel me? Pork and beans and hot dogs and shit. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm like, yo, it fucked with me heavy, and that struggle that put me into that depression, that dark place. You know what I mean? It at the same time it built me. It made me who I. It built my character, and I kept my faith in God. I kept my faith in my family, and I did what a lot of black people don't do in the black community. I tried and I trusted therapy. I let the professionals do what they do, and it worked. The shit works for every black person out there. The shit works. The shit works, dog. People. Yeah, man. So that's really what happened. That's what I went through.
Mad respect to you, and let me tell you something I've been getting popping up on my IG a lot lately is the difference between a hero and a villain. Difference between a hero and a
Mm-hmm.
villain, there's not. They were both
Mm.
abandoned. They were both gone through everything. The only difference is how they responded to the pain. The villain said, I went through pain, so I want everyone else to feel pain. The hero said, I went through pain, so I don't want anyone else to feel pain. You and your music, your lyrics, you have hero lyrics.
Thank you. Thank you. And that's true. That's true, man. That's crazy. That what you're saying. I remember hearing that and studying that a little more after I think I listened to Metro Boomin's Heroes and Villains his album. I don't know if you heard that one, but listening to his album and diving more into it and like the understanding of that concept. You're right. Absolutely right. And thank you. I try to. I do try to spread more positivity in my lyrics. You feel me? I want people to find peace, find your balance in life. I'm not telling you to be happy every single day and then make sure every day is like super positive no, just find balance to the point where it's like you're peaceful. You know what I mean? And you understand that there's going to be ups and downs, and you just have to figure it out. And that is where I really I really decided to do that with my music is to make people. I really don't like how you hear a lot of drill beats or like kind of like drill instrumentals or like hardcore like those dark instrumentals. I like them sometimes. I like to listen to them. I ain't gonna lie, but I don't really like to make music in that sense. Like a lot of my beats like feel good. I like to call it barbecue music because it's like the sun's out, you're barbecuing. You might just be reminiscing on some memories, good or bad. But at the same time, you're enjoying where you are today, and that's what I like to. I like to make that feel good to say, hey, I went through this, we went through this, but here we are, and we're going to continue to elevate.
Facts, bro. And respect to that. Have there been any major obstacles that you've had to overcome?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I would say my biggest obstacle personally from my career has been, I would say, relationships, intimate relationships, intimate relationships. I've had to learn to, if I was going to be in an intimate relationship, to understand that to let my partner understand that my music is first. My music is first. This is my first love. This is what I do. This is my everyday thing. It's not like a hobby. It's no days off. That was the thing. I had to really learn how to balance my life out in that sector because you can get lost in the sauce a lot. You know what I'm saying? Pussy got power, man. And a lot of times it can get you messed up in the head and put you. I had abusive relationships where women used to hit on me, and I had man, character, man, and it's like that shit be fucking you up. They taking your
Oh my
focus off.
God, bro. It makes you question everything about yourself.
They do. They really do. Because you like, I decided to be with this person. Like, you know what
But
I mean?
also the
So,
things
but
they do to you and the things they say to you, eventually you believe them. You were just saying you're in an abusive relationship. I was saying I was
right.
too. And then the thing is, the things that the things that your partner says to you when you're in an abusive relationship, the things that your partner does to you when you're in an abusive relationship, it sinks into your brain. It sinks into your subconscious, and it truly makes you feel like you are what they're telling you you are.
Absolutely. It do, man. It made me so insecure about certain things in my life, my where I was in life at that time. Because this happened about maybe 4 years ago. I was 22, 5 years ago. So about 22 going to 23. We were together for 3 years, and that shit was just crazy. So that was a huge obstacle having to overcome and learning to let go. I had to let go of that person so I could advance in life.
And then let go of
And when I
everything
look
they taught you.
and everything they taught me, man. And I ain't gonna lie, some stuff kind of seeped over into my other escapades with women where I had to check myself and get my shit together because hurt people hurt people. You feel me? And that that was that I think I seen something earlier on your page about lessons, experiences being lessons, and that was a lesson in a trial in my life where I had to learn and conquer and grow from. So that was a big obstacle when it came to my career because I was expending energy and time into something that wasn't healthy
How
for
did you
me.
overcome that?
Exactly. Huh?
How did you overcome that?
So I ended up first and foremost ended up cutting all communication with that person. Like after we broke up, cut all communication at all, cut access. Because the thing is, you gotta let people know you can't fucking play with me like that. Like you have, once you disrespect me and put me in, you lose complete access to my life in all forms and shapes and sizes. Like if you ain't seeing me on YouTube, you ain't seeing me on social media, you're not seeing me on my phone, you're not texting me, like nothing. So that was the first step. Second step was realizing that hey, I am better than what they said I was. I did patting yourself on the back like, hey, you did what the fuck you was supposed to do to try to be a good person for them
Oh,
and in your life. You did it. Don't
preach,
let
bro.
them you feel me? Like you did a great job, bro. You did the best you could do. It's okay. Move on, go on with your life. That was the second step. And the final one was refocusing on my craft and putting all my energy into my craft. Everything
What
I went
makes
through.
you happy?
What makes me happy? I love to do this shit, man. This is my when I could be having the worst day ever. And I just get in this studio or I get in the booth and I hear these beats and these sounds or I just hear some music that I did and I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with music. I'm obsessed with my music. I am obsessed with this, bro. This is in my life. I can't. I will die doing this. I know. Rather I become the next Drake, J Cole, or if I'm just the next Tech Nine, right, or whatever, right, Royce the 5'9". If I'm on that level, I'll be happy.
Tech Nine and Royce
I'll,
the 5'9", man.
you feel me? You're still
I'd
successful
rather be
either
either
way.
one of them than Drake.
You're still successful either way, right? Like, cause you got cult fans, you got cult, but that's a whole other thing, right?
Well, that's what you
But
make though. Honestly, you make Royce the 5'9's Book of Ryan album. I call it grown people music. Same thing with Jay Z's 444. You
yes,
make grown people music because I love Juice World to death. I was a huge Juice World fan a few years ago, and I still am. But he was my life. Juice Post and Kid Leroy, and then I realized I was going through my shit, and I was getting over my shit, and if I kept listening to that music, I was gonna stay in my shit. So I
you
started
gotta grow.
seeking out different kind of music that wasn't sad boy, that helped me grow, and that was about growth. Hey, I've been through my shit, and now I'm better. That's what I was looking for. The now I'm better. And I made a
Yeah.
playlist. I used to have a sad boy playlist, and then I made a playlist after that called Death of a Sad Boy. And I told my girl
Mm.
earlier, if I found your music on Spotify while I was building that playlist, you'd be on that playlist because you're about growth,
Mm. Thank you.
and that's
Thank
what
you.
your
And
lyrics
that's
represent.
thank you. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, yes, yes. The growth, growing. That's crazy. I was just writing a song. I'm working on the song. I was calling it grown. I think I was gonna call it grown man music. That was gonna be the name of the song because that's where I had to realize. You're right. You gotta learn like you're not that no more. Like you know what I'm saying. Like I used to be heavy on the like Doughboy Cash Out. I used to be heavy on the fuck bitches and all this shit nigga turn. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, now I'm a grown man now. It's different. I'm living different. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing the same shit. So
All
you
right,
do have to relate that through your music. Absolutely.
you
I would say my
mentioned.
sec huh?
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say this is my second trial and tribulation with this career was learning to treat this like a business and not just a hobby, right? That was the second biggest problem I had coming up. And a lot of artists have. They don't know the business. And I had to learn and dive into business. I mean, I'm reading books, I've watched seminars, I've been doing all the boring stuff. I do my own financial books and ledgering and you know what I mean, just marketing. Oh, marketing, advertising. Oh my God. And learning that stuff, the biz just had to throw that in there because it is a huge part. That was the biggest thing I think until I remember I was 19. It's a quick short story just to sum this part up. I was 19. I had business cards with my name, email, and everything on it, but I had no business for real. I had no LLC. I had no EIN. I had no, I
Business
just
cards don't mean you own a business.
they don't mean you own a business. And that was the thing. I had no business having a business card. I'm like, what the fuck? So, you know what I mean? That was a big thing I had to learn.
Facts, bro. No, I get that, man. But hey, you live and you learn, and when you're young, bro, everything feels amazing. Everything feels official. Everything, but you've been through it, and like I said, your lyrics reflect that, and I have a high respect for the fact that you reflect that in your lyrics.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tell me about your following.
Yeah, my following. So, right now, looks like based on my demographics, because I do study my statistics across all
It's
boards
important.
from
It's important.
Instagram. Yeah, very, very important because it really helps you direct your music and learn how to market your music if you're doing it by yourself or if you got a team to share that information with your team. Most of my demographic is between, which is right by my age, between 25 and 34, which makes sense from because I am 27. So that's my age range. I'm mostly male dominant. So it's about like 74, 70 30 or 65 35 something like that. Right. That's about the 65% male, 35% female as far as listeners. Right now, I cover a lot of Detroit, of course, because I'm from here, which is good. You should always cover your hometown. Always cover that. A little bit of Atlanta, a little bit of LA of where I live, those two places. And recently, I've covered a lot of the UK. So like London,
That's big.
France. It is, because I did one drill song on my last album.
Let them remix it, bro. Oof.
Man, what? And that's the thing. I gotta find somebody over there to remix it for sure. Because I did the whole Spotify playlisting thing, and I did the real ones, like where you gotta go in. This is just a tip for people who are gonna see this. Type in at Gmail on your Spotify app. Type in at Gmail and look for playlists, and the real playlist will pop up, and you'll see the Gmails inside these created playlists, and you email those people and they'll give you whatever business that they have.
What?
Put your song. Yeah, right. I learned that at AC3. I was at AC3 festival last year, and I learned that from somebody on the panel. Um, and it
Attention
works.
all artists. Attention all artists. Listen to that, bro.
Yes, yes. At Gmail and that Spotify when you're searching in your Spotify app.
That's
Look for
crazy.
those playlists. Yeah, and I got put on those playlists, man. And like I said, I did my business with those people, paid whatever I paid. Nothing's for free, obviously. And to this day, even though like I ran my course for how long they were going to keep me on a playlist, that then pushed me into other regular people's like the playlists that we have on our own libraries. I have like 70 something monthly listeners on Spotify now because of that. Like I haven't done any promotion or any playlist placement since then, and I still my drill song is still doing numbers. I think I did over 20,000 streams over there, and it's still doing numbers over there. I mean, from Germany to London to I don't even different places, man. So it's just that whole UK area, Europe area.
That's
It's doing
crazy,
really
bro.
well. But
Congrats, man.
right, thank you. And it blew me because I was like, I didn't know it was gonna do that. But and it even tempted me to make another drill song. I don't really make drill music, but and it wasn't like drill music like Chicago or New York type drill music. It was more like that. Well, it was more like New York type drill, but it wasn't violent. It wasn't violent. Let me say that. It
Right, right.
wasn't
It was the
violent drill,
style, but not the lyrics.
not the lyrics,
I
right?
already
So I
know.
was
I
like,
haven't heard it, but I already know, bro. You know.
yeah, right. You feel me? So I'm like, shit. I'll do another one just to promote it over there again, and shit. Hopefully, if I get 2 or 3 drill songs over there, and somebody remix it, maybe I'll get on some shows over there. And that's the thing, like. It ain't you ain't gotta make it. It's a world. You don't have to make it here. There is a whole world.
There's 8 billion people on this earth. There are 4.9 billion people on the internet. Whatever the hell you do, whatever kind of music you make, I promise there is a million people who want to listen to it.
Facts. Facts, Kirk. Hey, artist, listen. He's not lying. Facts. It's all facts. And man, that was dope. Like that was so
That's an
dope to see
amazing
that.
feeling. That's an amazing feeling. Imagine all those people fucking vibing out to your song while they're driving in the UK. I mean, what?
What?
They're in the autobahn listening. You know, like what?
You
Like,
feel me? Like doom, dum, dum. Like and it was just so crazy, man. It's called the song's called Birkin. It's called Birkin, and I just because that was a big thing. I
Birkin.
dropped this like
Okay, yeah, that'd be big in the UK. All right, bet. Yeah, I'm excited to
yeah,
listen to that song for real, man.
yeah, because it was a big everybody, all the girls was trending on the internet. Everybody want a Birkin, this and that. I'll just tell the quick story behind that song real
Yeah,
quick.
yeah,
It is a dope story. So Birkin came. It was a drill beat from it was from Legion Beats. I know you're probably familiar with Legion.
yeah. Oh
Legion
yeah,
sends
of
out
course,
packs.
of course.
Yeah, so I bought a couple packs from them, and I remember I'm on there, and my bad, sorry, I thought I heard something, but I'm on there. I got the Legion beat. So my ex, she come to Detroit with me to shoot a video. I'm living in Atlanta. We come to Detroit, shoot a video on my cousin Mike Corbin. I'm shooting a video. We get into it about some shit I ain't even gonna go into. We just got into it the night before, right? Some bullshit
I already know.
that threw me completely off. So the next day I got mad at her. We getting mad at each other. I'm supposed to fly out that day with her to back to Atlanta. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, my boy, like, hey man, this dope producer want to meet with us. He the producer for Cash Doll, some couple other
Uh,
people, and he giving us deals on beat. I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to see him. I'm moving my flight to tomorrow. She like, you supposed to leave me that? I'm like, we got into it. I'm like, bro, you can go home, fuck on. Like, I think I broke up with her that day. Like, you know how you break up, but you
no,
not really
yeah,
broke up.
yeah, yeah. I got you. I got you. Yeah.
So we got to it, kicked her ass off, put her in the Uber, and sent her to the airport. Right? Got mad as fucking me. I was pissed. I rode the fattest wood with my boy, threw the beat on. I'm like, man, this bitch got me fucked up.
Unleashed.
I'm like, she want a burger? I need a bad bitch. Niggas can have a bitch. I'm like, she want a burger? I'm just like, cause I'm thinking like in my head, I'm like, this woman want all this shit from me, but she ain't even giving me half the shit that she want from me. So So that's how Birkin got made, based on a big ass argument in breaking up my.
That's what's
And
up, bro.
my boy Don, he was like, Don for whatever, he's on the song. He was like, yo, bro, I was in his studio. He's like, and I'm singing the song, I'm singing it. He like, record that shit right now. I'm like, what? He like, yeah, lay it down. That's the hook. I'm like, oh shit. So that shit was kind of crazy, man. Kind of cool how that came together. Excuse me.
Is that the one you had go viral on TikTok?
No, it went viral. No, I didn't say it went. No, it didn't go viral on TikTok. It went. It just did a lot of numbers on Spotify. The one that went viral on TikTok, I did a open verse challenge with Baby Tate, the young Baby
Okay.
Tate.
Okay.
That went viral on TikTok. Did like over 200,000 views, so that was pretty huge on TikTok. But yeah, no, I did great. That's the one that did great on Spotify, though. It did
Hell
amazing on
yeah.
Spotify. It's still doing great. I'm talking about somebody probably, if I check it right now, somebody's streaming that right now. So
That's
that's dope.
amazing, man. I mean that the
It-
feeling that you must have from that every night going to bed, knowing someone listening to my song right now, even as one damn person,
it's the feeling.
it's
Because there
because
was
and
a
they're
time.
listening to it because they want to, not because they know me, not 'cause- man. That's where you're trying to get to. I mean, hey, much love to all the people that get artists to comment and everything and support. Yo, that's huge. Don't ever stop that. But that's the point you're trying to get to. When people
Yeah,
who don't know you are putting you on their personal playlist, I mean that is an accomplishment. I don't care what you say. Music is changing right now. What we know as celebrities and huge music stars is going to be a thing of the past soon because there's enough out here for everybody, and we need to stop hogging everything. We just need to make music
facts.
for the people that want to hear it.
That's it. And that's facts. That's all it is, character. Oh my goodness. I could have put it no better. I couldn't have put it any better. That is the truth. It is a different world now. I'm talking about for us. And the thing is, talking to the younger artists, guys like us, have lived through that evolution of where music is now is crazy. And honestly, is shout out to you, shout out to me, shout out to us for being able to withstand this wave and still become relevant and still be persistent. Because it wasn't easy. The transition was hard as fuck.
Oh,
The social media
oh,
thing was, oh my goodness. The transition was crazy, bro.
bro! I got on Instagram 6 months ago.
Wow.
First time in my
Look at
life.
you. And look at you. You're making strides right now. I'm went and checked out your content and see what you're doing, and you're making strides right now,
Yeah, I
man.
appreciate that, man. But I'm just trying to help good people out. Like that's the whole purpose of this platform is to find the people that deserve a voice and tell their story because like you were saying earlier, people don't understand this business and people think it's all about the music. It's nothing about the music. It's all about you and your brand and what you put out and the story that you tell. And that's really what I'm hoping from these interviews is that it allows people like you to tell your
Mhm.
incredible story that puts 100% more weight behind the lyrics in your music, behind the way people feel when they hear your music. They hear your music, it's just in the song, but if they hear you and your story and then they hear your music, then they
Facts.
hear you and they want to support you.
Facts. I appreciate that, man. For
What do,
real.
what does success in life look like to you?
Success in life looks like to me, first things first, not having to work a 9 to 5 that I don't want to work. Right? Granted, listen to what I said though, that I don't want to work. If you're still doing a 9 to 5 and you want to be there, that's okay.
Don't ever stop.
Don't stop. That's, you know what I'm saying. But for me, is doing not doing a 9 to 5 that I don't want to do. My 9 to 5 needs to be music in some shape or form. That's what success looks like to me. Doesn't have to be me making it as an artist. I can make it as an artist. I can make it as a writer. I can make it as a consultant. I can make it as a producer. I can make it as an artist development manager, a stage manager. Whatever I can do in music, and I have the skills to do these things that I named, I will do it. And if I'm successful with it, being able to make, even if I can make 50,000, 40 to 50,000 a year off this music, I will be okay with that. Because guess what? I'm gonna spend my time in a minimum, job making that anyway. $20 an hour, 22,000 an hour. That's 50, 60 grand a year anyway. So if I'm making 50, 60 grand doing what I love, what I'm passionate about,
That's worth
that's successful to
120.
me. You feel me? That's successful to me. That's where my success is. When I'm like, yo, my brand and my business is feeding my family and feeding me.
Absolutely.
You feel me? That's where
You
my
wake up
success is
every
at.
day and do what you want to do.
And do what you want to do. You feel me? You wake up, you get you a cup of tea, coffee, a blunt, whatever. You turn on your speakers, you open your blinds, and you like, shit, what we gonna make today?
So, bro, tell me
Yeah.
something unique about yourself that most people don't know. It could be something random from childhood, anything.
Something unique about me. Most people don't know. I'm trying to think. Oh, very unique. Very, very unique. I actually did not speak one word until I was 3 years old. I didn't speak a word until I was 3 years old.
What?
Unusual, right? My dad thought something was wrong. My mom said my dad thought
Of
something was
course
wrong
they
with him.
did.
Yeah, and my mom was like, nothing's wrong with him. He'll talk when he's ready. He'll
Huh.
talk. And then on top of that, I didn't talk till I was 3 years old. And I think my mom said I was about on my way to being four. I taught myself how to read. She said I taught myself how to read, which blew
That's
me. Blew me. I'm like, what? I'm like, you bullshitting. She's like, no, you really taught yourself how to read. I'm like, wow.
okay. Would you say that you are a generally shy person?
Not now. Then yes, but not now. But up until the age of like 13, yes, absolutely, very much so. Very soft spoken as a child.
And then you started making music.
I started making music and everything changed.
You know, that seems to be a universal truth with artists is they're shy until they start making music, and sometimes they stay shy unless they're making music. But
Yeah.
I think it has, and it's interesting to think about the fact you didn't speak till three on this note. Is still waters run deep. When those are
Mm,
who are quiet speak, you listen,
mm.
and I think that's a big part of being an artist. Is you let things boil up in yourself so much in your mind. You say you have all these thoughts that you never put into word, but then you make music.
Man, man, it's a beautiful thing because that's really how it is. And like you said, it's just a universal thing I think through all of us as artists. Like this is what this gives us our freedom. This is our freedom. You know what I mean? This is our emancipation from all the bullshit, right? And
Mm.
man,
Damn.
it's you know what I mean? Yeah, yeah,
Emancipation from all the bullshit.
from
That
all the
that's
bullshit.
beautifully said.
Thank you. And yeah, man, that's and I think me personally, I mean, obviously I can't remember anything before the age of like 5 or 6. Personally, like I can't remember that far back. Some people can, I don't know how, but I can't. Um, but I think I always tell my mom and I'm like, yo, I think I probably knew how to talk. I just probably didn't. I
Exactly.
probably knew how to talk. You feel me? Like I think
Or
I
you didn't know
probably
how to
knew.
speak well enough. You were waiting until you were ready to train and be, say whole sentences. Like I'm not coming out with mama. I'm coming out like, hey mom, where's the food, homie?
You feel me? Like, hold on, let me articulate this correctly. Wait a second. Like, oh shit, that's hilarious. Oh man, oh, that's hilarious. Yes. Oh man. So yeah, it is a blessing. And I want to say this too. It didn't. I wasn't always this good as an artist. Artists, understand this shit is work. You
Mm.
have to practice and build and grow. I was nowhere near as great as I am now at 12, 13, 8, 14. I was nowhere near this good. I used personally, I think I sucked for a really long time. I think I was really horrible for like a good 3 to 4 years. I was really bad. I mean, everybody else thought I was good because of my age, but I personally was like, after I go back and listen, I'm like, man, like the
That ain't it.
stanzas,
That
like
ain't it.
right, you feel me? Like, I needed to
Yeah,
do this. I
yeah.
need, but that's part of the journey, artists. That's part of the journey. Singers, rappers, writers, whatever you are, producers. You're going to get better if you stay consistent and persistent. That's all
Facts,
you
bro.
have to do. Stay consistent and persistent, and you're going to get better.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Is there anything that I didn't think to ask you that I didn't know to ask you, or anything you got coming up that you want to talk about?
Absolutely, you just said it. The thing I got coming up. I want to definitely announce that I got coming up two big things right now. I am working on finishing, mixing, and mastering my project, my new album coming out this summer. It's called West Side Baby Volume One, Early Bloomer. So West Side Baby Volume One, you feel me? Early
That's a
Bloomer.
badass
This is
title. Okay.
thank you. And I'm really letting people into my life on this project, really letting people in. Prior to that, I will be releasing my single Paradise Island for this album that is coming out this June. The date will be announced probably
That
June
summer
23rd, I
bop.
believe.
That summer bop.
Yeah, you feel me? Feel me? June 23rd, and it's got that feel like you said to it, that grown man feel to it. You feel me? Grown man music, grown people music. So June 23rd, look out for Paradise Island. Should coming for that very soon. I hope everybody stream that. It'll be on all streaming platforms. And then music video will be following soon as well. But yeah, look out for Paradise Island and look out for West Side Baby Volume One, Early Bloomer.
Hell yeah, bro. This has been Characteristic here with an amazing damn person, Melo Mclain. Follow him up. Love this man as an artist and as a person. If you can't respect him, get out my face. We'll see you next time. Peace up.
Peace.
All right, so yeah, we done. But yeah, hey, bro, mad respect to you, man. I really like. I vibe with you. I have a high respect for you, for real.
Thank you. Thank you. No, same here. Same to you as well. I mean, I was going through your page and I'm looking, I'm like, man, this guy is working, working. Like, God damn.
You don't
I'm
even
looking
know,
like,
bro.
I'm looking like, oh
It's like
man.
16 hours a day. I'm doing this shit right.
And that's the thing. That's the beauty in it, man. The grind and the ability and the willpower to want to get your shit done, bro. Like, shout out to you, bro. I'm gonna be sharing your shit too. I'm gonna be sharing videos that ain't mine yet. You feel me? That ain't mine. Cause I like something, so I was looking at. I'm like the kid I saw, one kid was in the hospital bed. I'm
Oh
like, damn,
man,
this
that
shit.
guy, bro.
I'm like,
Mm.
man, I'm like, man,
I've just
and you for you to go find these people is dope.
I've been blessed to find these people. I've been blessed to, like, I don't know. I've had connections with people for a long time, and then I start this interview thing. They'll reach out to me, or I'll reach out to them, and it's honestly most of the people that reach out to me are like they have the stories that they want to tell, and then honestly, I've reached out to so many people. I don't remember exactly how we ended up doing this, but you know,
Yeah,
your vibe this entire the there's this feeling I get when I speak to certain people online, and I don't know how, it's just the energy. It's a
it is.
positive energy, and I know that they want to say more than the answers to my questions. I don't want to ask the questions that I have. You know what I mean? Like most of the interview that we
Mhm.
did, you answered most of the things, and then you answered more than what I have because you can't formulate these questions that got to be in response. But really, I'm just so excited to be a part of telling people stories that could really take them off. The people that deserve it, like that kid and you and that guy Rod. I've done probably 10 or 15 interviews that like I'm gonna push the shit out of, and yours is including that because
Appreciate
it's
that.
not for me. It's yeah, like yeah, okay, I'll stand a benefit or whatever, but like I'm also gonna send you this full edit so that you can use it for however you want and use your little segments and things and
Hmm.
like if you just use those things to introduce your next song or whatever to show people who you are, it just like you said, it's all about building a brand, and I'm really trying to help the people that deserve that do that. You know what I mean?
Appreciate that, fam. For real. Yeah. I think I remember seeing you. think it was Chris. Was it Chris Hayes? Were you on Chris Hayes?
Oh my god, bro.
I, I think you were on Chris Hayes, and I remember seeing you, and I was like, yo, I like this guy. I like this guy's energy,
Yo, he
and I like
blocked
some.
me.
What the fuck? Why did he block you? Jesus
When I
Christ!
started this interview thing, he blocked me, bro. I reached out to him. I was like, hey, bro, I want to let you know I'm starting an interview thing, but I'm not doing what you do. I have a mad respect for you or whatever, you know. And then I didn't see anything he's posting, and I looked him up the other day. I'm blocked.
You blocked because you're doing some. Oh, come on, Chris.
But that's
Whatever.
all
That's
right.
hey,
That's all right. I mean,
hey, each his own. Yeah, to each his own, man. I guess, but like,
you know, he on the YouTube
whatever.
hustle now. Whatever. I don't give a fuck. But it's all
Right.
good. Like,
It's all good, man. Keep doing you,
you know, I
man.
appreciate
Keep
that,
doing
man.
you.
Yo, like, I really, really enjoy this. I do want to connect. If you need videos, yo, like, I do music videos, and I got one of my business partners has a flight pass where he can travel anywhere in the country plus at any time,
Yeah.
and we trying to get like we got a crew in Detroit, another crew in Detroit that we trying to link with. So basically, the way we're working is like it costs him about $400 to get anywhere with all of his $30,000 worth of equipment. So we need
Mm-hmm.
that covered, and then we need lodging covered, and past
Mm-hmm.
that, we're trying to make a little bit. But if you got five artists that want a video, we'll do all five artists for 2 grand.
That's nice. That's not
So
bad at
each of
all.
y'all try paying $400. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, or if you're
Which
an
is,
artist that wants five videos, we'll do you five for two. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
so let's link, let's talk about it. And even if you just got someone to shoot it and you need an editor, let me know. You know what I mean? Like,
That yeah, and I do. A lot of times I do be needing like editing because I do have like a crew of different camera
everybody got
guys,
someone who could shoot something.
yeah, but the editing is the super important part. You're right about that.
That's my
I
focus
went to
for real.
school.
Before I started the interview
Yeah,
thing, that's it.
yeah. I went to school for broadcast media arts. I graduated with
Where?
that. So, Specs Howard School of Media
Okay,
Arts. It's in Southfield, Michigan. So I understand that part. Post is just so important.
no doubt.
I mean, I mean, shooting, of course. So if you shoot it right, the post should be a lot easier.
It's not usually
But
shot right though.
but it's not.
But that's okay though. Like honestly, I just edited a video for this dude that a friend of his shot, and it turned out fucking badass, and it's getting mad attention. So, um,
That's dope.
you know, I love color grading. That's my big thing. Is my my concept on music videos is that there are no rules. I really
Mm-hmm.
like to, if the artist is down, make my music videos look kind of otherworldly with the color grades.
Mm,
You know, because
I
why
like that.
wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
some artists like it, some don't. But yeah, like let's link, bro. And I mean, you already know I'll do it for cheap as fuck for you. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't
Appreciate
got a
that.
budget, I'll do it for free. Like,
Appreciate
I'm
that.
just you
Yeah,
know I'm about
yeah,
supporting the artists that I believe in and that I want to succeed because if you succeed,
yeah.
your music will have a positive impact on this world. Music has such an
Right.
impact on
It
the on
is.
society, on everything. And if
It
we
is.
just start promoting positive music, we'll change the world.
We will. We will, man. People gotta be that. I believe that is the next level of music and rap in this world is that positivity because we've done everything else and it's run its course and now it's time for the world to evolve.
I got chills when you said that, bro. I absolutely believe that. But it's been amazing. Let's talk soon, bro. For real.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll shoot you a message.
All right. Much love, man.
Much love.